Alright, this is exercise video number 18, and for my exercise today I just ran a mile outside with a pace of 8 minutes and 37 seconds. And so before I went on that run a couple hours ago, I had a Larabar, and so whenever I ate that Larabar and it reached my stomach and passed through my small intestine, I had to digest that food. And so that Larabar was broken down into glucose molecules, the carbohydrates in it were. And so those glucose molecules can't just sit around in my blood. They have to be stored away in my liver and muscle cells in order to be able to perform glycolysis. And so whenever I ate that Larabar and it was broken down into glucose, that glucose was brought into those cells via insulin. And so insulin lowers your blood sugar by grabbing those glucose molecules and bringing it to those cells. And insulin, the hormone, binds to insulin receptor substrate 1. And that activates tyrosine kinase, which phosphorylates PI3 kinase, and then a series of steps happens. And then glucose transporter 4 is activated, and that opens the pores in that cell to allow glucose to pour into that cell in order to store it. And that glucose can either be just stored for whenever you need it, or it can be used to perform glycolysis. And so whenever I first started that run, I jumped into the PCR system. And so once my phosphocreatine stores were depleted, I had to get ATP somehow, and so my body started glycolysis. And in order to perform glycolysis, you need glucose or glycogen. And so my body was using that glucose from the Larabar that I ate earlier in order to run through the steps of glycolysis and then eventually get ATP. And we also use glycolysis in order to perform oxidative phosphorylation. And so eating that Larabar fueled my exercise because I was able to use that glucose in order to go through those energy systems.